hands-on retreat. You're up, Ron. Unless you don't want to talk about it this month.
Right.
Still, the dates remain the same, 14th through the 17th. Most of you should have gotten information this week regarding some of the events and stuff. See me at the break. I did send out a bunch of information. There'll be more information throughout this week. I am in desperate need of demonstrators. So, anybody wants to step up and take part, I'd like that. Lunch is going to be catered on Friday. I saw the menu the other day, spectacular. It's hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, pop, coleslaw, potato salad, all furnished by Carter Products, okay? Saturday, we're still going to do a pizza day. I think that's easy and quick and fairly inexpensive. Not sure on Carmen yet. She is off in Hollywood recording right now, so she's not responded to anybody anywhere. Hopefully she's done recording soon. Sally Alt, I've got her information yesterday. That'll be going out. She is one of the professional demonstrators. So there is camping available yet. We're in the middle of 40 acres there, wooded acres. There will be a porta-john, and you can use the shower in the house. Any questions from any of you? Next month, we will announce the date that we move all the lathes out of here, move them to my house and start to set up. I'll need help and volunteers for that. Usually, I've got a good crew that, brings the stuff out to the house and then we get it back here then on Monday or Tuesday afterwards. Tent is pretty much rented. It's a 20 by 40. Still expecting a big response. So, questions, comments? If you did not get last week's email, see me so that I can make sure you start getting the emails and updates. They'll be more frequent now.
Next month, are you going to make it to run the cameras or not?
Yeah, I'll be.
Will you be here? Okay. I won't be here, but I'd be willing to come in on Friday and set everything up before I hit the road. You're fine with that?
Yeah.
Are you here next month, John?
No, I'll be at Baker's Fair.
You'll be at Baker's Fair? So we'll need somebody to run sound. I mean, it's kind of plug it in, it should work, right? If somebody wants to run sound next month, see me before we break this equipment down, and we'll give you a quick run through.
I imagine I could stop here on the way and set it up, make sure it's working on the way down to Baker's Fair. What time do we have to be down there? 9 a.m.?
What time do you be at Baker's Fair, Ken? Can John come in a little late after he helps us set up? Oh, man.
As long as we have everything set up Friday night, no, that's not a problem. You need to be down there about 9.
About 9, so yeah, I could come and make sure.
Yeah, Terry?
I think I'd like to be at Baker's Fair, so I could use somebody to set up coffee.
Yeah, we can get by without coffee.
I know
If somebody's willing to set up coffee, see Terry on the break. Are you going to be here next month? Can you run the meeting? Because I'm not. I'm out of town. I'm concerned we have this turn coming in from Detroit, and I don't want to shortchange this guy. Suddenly we're all gone, And we picked that day because we have a hard time rounding up people, and it hadn't occurred to us that all the support people for a meeting are going to be gone.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be here.
Yeah, because you're hosting the guy, right? Mark is.
I've got a house.
Mark is. I'm out of town. You can borrow my house. Yeah, just don't let any trees fall on it while I'm gone.
It should be done.
Okay. Let me see, where else are we at here? On the Beads of Courage, I got an email from Dwayne Fens. I don't know. Are you here, Dwayne, who sent me that email? I don't know who he is. He's in our group though. And apparently the Children's the Boss in Hospital in Grand Rapids has a Bravery of Hearts or Hearts of Bravery bead thing as opposed to the Beads of Courage. So I've got a phone number. Yeah. Come on up.
Be official, huh?
Yeah.
I've been interacting with Bronson Hospital in Kalamazoo with their Journey Beat program, and they're very excited about this program.
Okay.
Right now, they don't have solid numbers for me in terms of how many boxes that we should expect to turn out for them. The initial number they gave me was 15 annually, and I think that's a little low. From the website from, I think it's Encore Magazine, when the program started in 2013, they were projecting 30 to 35 new patients annually. So where they are right now, they don't know. They're trying to pull those numbers together. And the other major number is how many boxes they would need to roll out the program. And through the discussion with them and myself, it seemed like the best way to do it would be to have a box for every active current patient that's in the children's program. And this is for oncology only. They also said that they're just about ready to roll out the bead program for the hematology children's program. So that'll mean more beads, and it'll also mean more boxes if we're doing boxes for them. But they're very excited. I took in mine, I have mine sitting on the table with a bowl of some of the beads that they use. They're all custom handmade beads, and each bead represents a process that the kids have gone through. And their little brochure on it, so if you want to look at that. But what I was thinking was, if we got the program going for Bronson, and we had enough people that were interested. Now remember, we're talking about two clubs, this club and the Kalamazoo, and I have no idea where the Kalamazoo folks are on it because we're in summer recess right now, and I really don't have a good way to communicate with them. You know, they're all like you guys. They'll take emails, but they won't answer them. But what I was thinking was, if we had enough capacity, enough people that were really interested in doing boxes, then we could roll it into the Bravery Bead program up here in Kalamazoo. And then at that point, it might be Kalamazoo's taking care of Bronson, and Grand Rapids is taking care of the Bravery Beads. So that's where we are, and I don't know.
So should we just pursue with the Bronson Hospital for now and see how that goes, and then?
That would be my suggestion.
And then see if we can, you know, we don't really have a contact for Ellen and Bosch at the Children's Hospital, so if we have a contact at the Bronson, I guess I'm fine with going that direction. See how that works out, and then if it works out and is going well, then we can maybe see if somebody can find somebody at the boss here in town.
So there's gonna be, hang on a second, there's gonna be, you know, a significant number of boxes that'll need to be made for the rollout. Because you know, let's say there's 30 to 50 patients, that's 30 or 50 boxes. And one of the things, I don't know if anybody's done a search online for the Beads of Courage boxes, but a lot of them are very creative. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I think is worth doing. Right. You know, this is I took it into them because I said, this is the most basic box that you'll end up with. And I've shown them some of the more creative ones that people have done for the Beads of Courage. And, you know, just remembering that these are kids, they're gonna like things. Like, for example, I got a little wormhole here, and I thought about maybe putting some kind of a little glass bead or something there, just for fun.
Question,
Okay.
since the hospitals we're talking to aren't using the Beads of Courage names specifically, should we or should we not embed the bead we've been given?
Can we get some beads from the Bronson that we can embed in these?
Is that a requirement?
Or do we just make them and not worry about putting beads on?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, let's not worry about it.
What I would do is, if we can decide as a club, what we should do is put some identification in the bottom. You know, I just did a generic, I put my name and the turning number, and I said Cherry Bead Box, because I didn't know where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
But, and I would identify them that way. I think the
Okay.
Beads of Courage are doing that just because they're
Yeah.
marketing their, you had a question?
My question was, is it a requirement to put a bead in, to embed a bead?
And I'm sure with Bronson it's not,
No.
because this is probably something we're just doing on our
I was
own.
gonna say that we gotta get the beads ahead of time so we can fit them.
Yeah. I mean, I already have the Beads of Courage in mind. I'm sure they're not gonna reject it and say, hey, we don't want that one, it's got Beads of Courage.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna care. So if you already have the Beads of Courage embedded, I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
We can just send it off to the Beads of Courage program.
We
Yeah.
can put other things in them, like cabochons and stuff, like stones in the top, when they need stuff.
Anything that's embedded and smooth, yeah, as long as it's not sharp or anything, but yeah.
Are
So,
they supposed to be finished then or not finished?
finished. They need to be finished and completely cured, you know.
With a urethane or some type of finish?
Yeah, something that cures, something, you know, no oils, because some oils, they don't cure, and some children could be allergic to certain oils and stuff.
Things that are not vapors, so something that is a chemical cure.
You need to avoid
Like a varnish.
spalted wood too. And
What's that?
You need to avoid spalted wood stuff because of the mold.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, so that program's going on. I guess everybody can finish their vessels, and I would still wait to bring them in until we can get something set up. Bruce, you're talking with Bronson then?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
yesterday, got an email from them that said,
Okay,
we're in.
can you shoot me a copy of that email, or keep me in the link so I know where we're at with it? And then we can, I can email with you too, and we can fine tune this program and get it rolling. Or shall we just start bringing stuff in next month?
Well, one of the things I told them was, and again, I'm thinking in terms of turning green wood, was that it would take 2 to 3 months for a turner to have a box ready from the time we said go.
Right.
And because they're not doing it now, they're perfectly okay with that kind of thing, so.
Right.
They understand there's some lead time, but.
Right.
Yeah, but we already started this like 2 months ago now, so we should have 20 vessels or so about ready to go
Well,
in the next month,
we can
so.
start collecting them if you, one of the things if you wanted, I could just take them down to Kalamazoo and store them in my shop till we're ready to
Okay,
let it go.
all right. Shoot me an email.
Show of hands, how many people have actually started something?
I've been thinking about it.
That started it, that's a thought. So we have a few.
But one of the things that we need to really understand is once we commit to this, we're committed.
We're committed for an ongoing, we're talking ongoing.
Exactly.
Okay, hopefully the Kalamazoo is going to be able to
I think
come into this too.
clubs, we got plenty of capacity.
I mean, if you're talking 15, 20 a year, that's less than 2 a month.
Well, when they said 15, I thought, God, I could do that myself.
Yeah.
That big a deal.
Okay. Tom, right?
Does it have to be solid wood or can it be segmented?
It can be segmented. I think it could be actually a square box, because Jeff has some square boxes that have lids on them. Like, I don't think they would care, you know, if it's, however you want to make a box, you know, it would work.
Yeah, it could be made out of flat stock.
Yeah.
One of the clubs that I had knowledge of down in San Antonio, they have a tough time getting wood. I don't understand why, but they have a tough time getting wood. And some of the fellows have actually used PVC piping for the body and then put a wood bottom and make a wood lid for it. I think, hopefully we're not going to
black iron sewer pipe.
But the thing is, if we made them square, that would open it up to different gills, like our woodworking gills.
I know, and the woodworking guilds could get in on that too.
Oh, yeah, pop those up like
So, yeah, that'd be really easy to make that. You can get some just wood here, be done in 2 hours. Yeah,
The other thing is too, is that if it could be segmented, and I'm talking lengthwise now, is that if there's, like down in Kalamazoo or here in Grand Rapids, any of the woodworking companies, including Jonathan here, they have cutoffs that could be available to you free, and it already been cured out, and you can proceed and cut the production time way down, because the wood will be cured already, and you're just basically making a barrel.
right. Okay. Jim Pope, our treasurer, is not here today. I do have a treasurer's report. Our bank balance right now is $57.55. That's $5,755.57. If anybody wanted to take a look at it, I have it laid up here. It shows our expenditures last month, which supplies we took in $116, and our raffle last month we took in $156. So we did pretty good last month. Our coffee was upside down by $1.80. So I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
I think we covered it.
Don't you worry about coffee.
Yeah. Next month we have Jim Scarcella coming in from the Detroit area. He's from the Detroit area, right? Because when you go to his website, it says he's from Pennsylvania. Anyways, and he's going to be doing our a class on embellishment. I think he's doing relief carving, right? He's going to do relief carving. So that's going to be a very nice demonstration. They're wondering how many people would be interested in doing. It'd be a pay for class. Like maybe that Saturday afternoon or the following Sunday. Are there people that'd be interested in that, like a 4-hour workshop with him, hands-on carving?
Carving and or he does a lot of different painting techniques.
Okay.
So he
Is
does some amazing stuff.
there, do we have some people that are interested in coming that next day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I think that's enough, because you wouldn't want much more than probably less than 10. Okay, well, we're going to set that up then, and we will email before that day whether it's going to be Saturday or Sunday and what the cost will be. So, all right. All right, let's do some show and tell. I'll get it started. Let's line up here and everybody grab their piece. You got a coupon in here that Ken's going to give you that you can use for the raffle. So he'll give you a ticket, and then you can put in one of the raffle things to keep the other half. I just brought in a cherry bowl that I did some turquoise in, and these have been really popular lately. I've been selling lots of these at my shows and stuff. So I think I brought 5 of these to my last show. I sold 4. I never sold the last one of everything. And that's a good point. If you're selling stuff at Maker's Fair, you can't have like one nice bowl, one nice hollow form, and I got a really nice ink pen. You have to focus on one item and get several there, because nobody wants to buy that last one. So if you only have one, you're probably not going to sell it. So if you have something that's unique, and that's the thing with these groups, everybody brings down bowls, you know. That festival, we had 100 bowls or 200 bowls there that all start to look alike after a while. If you have something that's unique, not only do you need to bring it down, but you have to have like 2 or 3 of them. Because people won't buy, a lot of times won't buy that only one unique piece. They want to see 2 or 3 from that price range, so they feel like they have a choice. I think that's a big thing we need to look at when we're doing these sales and stuff, so that everybody can get into the piece of the action. You've got to find something that's a little unique, and then you've got to have more than one of it. If you've got something that's really nice and expensive, you've got to have 2 or 3 more of them. So when the customer sees that, he can look at that and make a choice. But a lot of times, they don't quite know. You've got to give them something to compare it to, so they somehow in their mind they'll justify buying that more expensive piece if they have a choice. So anyways, this is, I should put that down before I start talking. It's some turquoise that I inlaid in it. I get the turquoise from Craft Supplies. And then usually I smash it down to a powder almost because it's not fine enough to get into some of the really small cracks. And that's probably not very well lit there either, is it? So, yeah, Jim.
I found a place down in Gilbert, Arizona called Natural Expressions, and they sell all kinds of inlay from large sand, small sand, down to powder. They're not online, but the guy's name is Fred Thiel. He ships all over the world. So if anybody's interested, I could give you that. You could put it in the newsletter.
Yeah, let's put that.
I mean, he's got red, white, black, azurite, turquoise, everything you can think of.
Is it pretty reasonably priced then, too?
Yeah.
There's a little pack from Craft Supplies. It's $10 for maybe a tablespoon.
You can get a little bag like that for $5, or you can get a big bag for $15. If it's man-made, it's cheaper than the natural.
So I don't know what we're getting from Craft Supplies, if that's man-made or if that's real turquoise. They make it, they indicate it's real. What's that? Is it dyed? This is dyed? Okay.
But a lot of times you're putting in when you put the sand pieces in, they won't fit into small cracks, so it's nice to have the powder too.
Yeah. I have some that I've done where I made it all powder, and people look at it and they think somehow I ground a big piece of turquoise to fit that hole perfectly. And I'm like, no, it's powdered. If you look close, you can see that it's powdered. Like, oh, okay.
How is that stuff to turn?
Exactly.
I don't have a problem turning it. Usually I do this, I just sand it.
The real stuff is terrible on your tools.
See, I don't turn once I put the turquoise in there.
Oh, see,
I put it in, then to the sanding stage.
Oh, really?
I just sand it.
I turn it down, and turning real turquoise is a lot harder than man-made.
And actually, I'll try to get it when I fill it in, and I'll get it so it's just at surface or even below the surface, sand it down, and then fill the top over with CA glue, and it looks like it's right to the top.
Okay.
There's two types of turquoise you can buy, stabilized and unstabilized. If you buy unstabilized, you can sand it easier, you can actually take pellets, chunks, that's what's in mine, is unstabilized, it sands better and it'll turn better. Stabilized has some kind of glue in it to stabilize it for those who are using it for jewelry.
Okay.
And I buy mine at the Rock and Gem, and I buy a 5-pound bag for $10.
Okay, well, I probably need to talk to you. All right, everybody lined up and start bringing your pieces over.
We talk a lot about price, okay, and what the value of a product is and what my time is worth. It varies from market to market. This piece or this piece, who said they were turning PVC pipe in Texas? This is all Texas wood, okay? They have some really sweet wood there.
That's what I'm saying, I don't understand it.
This came just south of San Antonio, okay?
Mesquite.
These pieces, I probably don't have 3 hours in, okay? So if I use certain formulas that are around here, I have $200 to do it, right? Now, let's throw in a gallery that's gonna take 50%. I haven't made squat. There isn't one of these I'd let go for less than $400, whether it's in a gallery or outside a gallery. And when you price your merchandise, whether you're at an arts and crafts show or a gallery or on Facebook or Etsy, they all have to be the same price whether you have a gallery or you don't. Because if somebody in a gallery starts collecting your work, like they have for me at Grand Haven, and they see me on Facebook at half the price, they're gonna think they got screwed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you have to watch your pricing. I price it at what I think it's worth in the market at which I'm selling it in. And I've gone into a couple more galleries and I've upped the ante because I want to cover the commission and I don't want to be too cheap and I don't want to discriminate against those people who have paid high prices. You know, I got people in California that paid over $1,200 for some of my pieces, and if they see a similar piece at $200 on Facebook, I'll hear from them. So this is Texas mesquite. A girl out of Aransas Pass near Corpus Christi is a huge supplier. She has 3 sawmills. She's soon going to be supplying woodcraft of mesquite. She has about 20 feet of this particular burl. These 3 pieces I brought in were all turned at the AAW, or partially turned. She donated these pieces to me. They're all commissioned. They're all sold. It's unbelievable wood. I've got one more big piece, 16 by 16 by 12, and I'll start on that next week. I'm hopeful Doug will bring his corer out so we can core that. I'd like to get 3 pieces out of it. The 16 by 12 is $150. But it's wood that's just incredible. This particular piece does have real turquoise in it. It is not a treated turquoise, it's not stabilized. Turquoise, every mine that mines turquoise in the United States has a different color. The turquoise is named for the mine, okay? There's White's Creek, I can't even think of them now. I've done the turquoise trail, I've looked at a lot of it. If you buy unstabilized and you buy caps, which is what jewelers use, they're beautiful. I have some, something the size of a silver dollar run you about $35. And you can inlay the whole cab and you can sand it back just like any other turquoise. The other piece I have on the table is a Alumilite piece. It was casted in PVC pipe. It has 22 karat gold in it. That also was turned at the AAW. These are the pieces I really cherish, and I hope to get more of it. I'm getting more of this mesquite. If any of you are interested, see me at the break. I'm meeting this woman in Findlay. She's bringing me much more of this burl. Burls this size is going to run you around $90, $90 to $100.
I got 2 pieces here that, this one is a cherry burl, and the bottom is wingy. And it started out, when you have, I don't know, when you have a piece of burl, you try to save every cubic inch of it, and you look at it for the longest time trying to figure out how I'm going to cut this. And I started turning this, and if I made it completely round, it would have been too little. And so I ended up with these 2 facets on the side of it. And to get it that size. And then I had a photograph my son sent me of a little oasis in Saudi Arabia. And so I would burn that on the side of it. And when I do these, I like to follow the annual rings in the wood, because that sort of gives you a pattern, and it makes it sort of harmonious. And so after I did the little wood burning on it, I made this irregular line around here that sort of followed the base where the bark was. And I got done with that. And this sort of like topsy, it kind of just grew. Then I looked at it, it still looked kind of plain, and I used acrylic paint and painted it silver, and that didn't look very good. And so then I painted it gold, and that looked better, but it still was kind of just 2-dimensional. Then I used the blues in acrylic, and faded it. I started to look like a night sky to me. And on this side here, we found the annual rings. It looked like the crests of dunes. And so the night sky, then I started to decorate it. I put a moon there, and there's several of these. This is a Scorpio, and I've got Orion the Hunter here. And just put some little kind of things in there as I kind of like to futz around, and so anyway, but that one's that one. The other piece is a piece of box elder that I got done with it, and it still looked like it needed something. And the pattern around the fish, I followed the lines in the wood, and that really gives you a kind of a holistic feeling to the piece because it's just the natural lines there. And I used foil after I wood burned the fish in for texture. You can see where all the scales were. I used foil put over that, and then I drew the little frog on the other side just to make it look like water, and painted it with acrylic paints. And the finish on both of them are water-based polyurethane.
Very nice.
Well, I can thank Jeff for this one. This was from the hickory tree that fell at his house. And I was really impressed with the grain in that, and this piece particularly really highlighted that grain. This one is an oak burl that I just had a slice, and like he was saying, when you've got a burl, you want to really use as much of it as you can. And the sides of it were just so interesting, I didn't want to turn them away. So I just did minimal shaping on the sides to keep that natural edge. And just put a small bowl on the top.
Makes sense.
There you go.
Is that everything? Okay. Our challenge is over here on the back table. If you brought in a piece that's unfinished, that you're willing to let go, then it should be on the table, so that means you can go up there and pick another piece on there to take home and finish. Jeff's still adding one to it. Terry, you had a question?
Who gets to keep the piece then afterwards?
The person who finishes it is entitled to keep it.
Right.
It'd be nice if you knew who the other person was that donated it, and you could maybe put both names on the bottom or something to acknowledge the donator of it. But yeah, whoever finishes it gets it. That's why it's got to be a piece that you're willing to let go.
Okay.
So.
In the future, this might be kind of a fun thing to do. If we could, if you could donate your piece back, and then we could sell it somewhere. I don't know. Just a thought.
So. Okay, so we're going to do that on the break. You can go ahead and grab a piece in there. Then after we do our raffle tables here, Ken's running the raffle. Supplies is out there in the hallway. Roger's running supplies. We'll run that for a little bit, and then probably in 10, 15 minutes or so, we'll do raffle, and then we'll start setting up. We should be all set up for our open shop. Everybody can come back and find a mentor with a lathe and work on whatever you want to work on. We have bowl blanks back there. I have natural face bowl blanks. I have regular face bowl blanks. We have spindle blanks back there. We'll have hollowing going on. Also, I have some pieces of Bradford pear in the back of my truck. They're not very big, but if somebody wants to get a small blank of that Bradford pear, my black truck is just outside the door. You're looking back, there's 2 or 3 pieces back there that are still left, I think. So, all right, let's go.